Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I do have a drone with me today, but that is not primarily what this video is about. I've got the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and yeah, we're going to put this drone up in the air, but what I want to talk about, there's a question that I get all the time in comments on all my videos. Often I post a screen recording of the telemetry or the FPV screen that I'm looking at on the controller. I post it with my videos. I like you guys to see what's going on, what I'm doing, so I often post that. I get asked all the time, A, how do you do a screen recording? And then B, how do you get it into your video? Two really separate issues. I'm going to show you how to do a screen recording. We're going to take the drone up for a little flight, and then when I get home, I'll show you in post-production. Now, everybody uses a little bit different editor. I use an editor called Magix Movie Edit Pro. However, they're all going to be very similar, but you are able to merge the two videos together in that video, and you can do the picture-in-picture effect. In fact, many times I'll have 3 or 4 different video sources on any given video, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to show you how to synchronize them so that they stay in perfect sync throughout your video. So let's quit messing around. Let me get the drone unpacked and ready to fly. We are going to take this guy on a little bit of a scenic flight here at the park. And I'm also want to add, you're going to hear some noise in the background. It is a public park. There's stuff going on here and people playing music and so forth. But at any rate, let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. But first, let me show you how to start a screen recording. I'm going to show you how to do it on your mobile device, in this case an iPhone, and I'm going to show you how to do it on the DJI RC or RC2. It's the same on both devices, or actually even the RC Pro works the same. First, I'm going to show you the iPhone, and when you pull down your gadget menu from the top right, you're going to see a button with a little circle around it, and that's the screen recorder. And what I always do is I can just touch it and it'll start a recording, but I hold it down and it gives me this screen right here. I make sure that it's sending the screen recording to photos, and you can have the microphone on or off. I like having the microphone on. So let me start the recording and you'll see. So I'm recording the DJI Fly app right now, and on the screen recorder, and I can click on connection guide, etc., and you'll see the different aircraft, but it's that easy. And then when you're done flying, you simply pull down from the top and stop the recorder again. Just pull down, and that dot is going to be red. Click on it and it'll stop the recording and it'll save it to your camera roll. So next, let's look at how you start a screen recording on the RC2 controller. It works exactly the same on the RC1. You can do the same thing on the RC Pro as well. If you're using an RCN1 controller, obviously you're using a mobile device, and you're going to use your native screen recorder on your phone. Now, what I didn't mention earlier is if you've got an Android phone, it's going to have a built-in screen recorder too. I am not exactly sure how you're going to get that going because they're all different, but there are also some apps for Android phones. One of them is called AZ Screen Recorder. Another one is Mobizen. I know those are popular apps that people use on Android phones so that they get a screen recording. But let's look at the DJI RC2 here. What we're going to do is we're going to swipe down from the top, 2 swipes, and you're going to get to this page. And you look right there at the bottom, you got that same kind of record button that we had on the iPhone. We're going to touch that, and you see down there at the bottom, and I'll show you now that it's recording, I can show you that on the screen as well. But you see where it says stop there in the countdown? That is the screen recording, and you can move that little icon by just touching it. You can drag and drop it wherever you want on the screen. What you're going to find is when you're flying, you're going to want it off to the side so that it's not in your way. But then when you're done, one thing that you want to remember to do is to hit the stop on there, and that's just right there where it says stop. You hit that and you'll hear a tone usually. Well, I didn't hear a tone there, but it did stop the screen recording. But in any case, that's how you start and stop the screen recording on your DJI controller. So let's get the Mini 4 Pro up in the air, and I'm going to show you a little trick. You've got all this video now. How are you going to synchronize it all? In this case, we've got the camera that I'm using to take this video right now. You would call that your B-roll camera. In this case, it's a DJI Action 4. Then you're going to have video from the drone, and you're going to have video from your screen recorder. So you need to be able to put all those together and synchronize them so that everything works perfectly and you see everything in the sequence that it should be. There's a trick to doing that. Let me get this little drone up in the air, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, I've got hopefully you're going to be able to see this. I've got the drone fired up and the controller fired up, etc. I need to start a screen recorder, so we're going to do just what we did before, pulling down twice, hitting that button, and there I got my screen recorder started. I'm going to move that little icon up where it's out of the way here, and now we can take off. So let's go ahead and take off in the drone, and I'll show you an easy way to synchronize all these video sources. Obviously, you're looking right now through my Action 4 camera, and then we'll start video on the drone. Let's do that right now. I'm clicking on video, shooting in 4K 30, starting that up right now. So we've got video going on the drone right now. So we really have three sources of video. We've got the B-roll camera, that is to say the Action 4. We've got the drone, and we've got the screen recorder that we're doing on the DJI RC2. Let me take off here real quick.
Take off.
And there's the little drone in the air right there. I'm going to spin it around here so that it's looking at us. In fact, I'm going to go, because I've got my B-roll camera pointed the other way, I'm going to put the drone on the other side of me here. So I'm going to kind of line up the drone with the camera. So I've got both cameras looking at me right now. So the easy way to synchronize the video is just like they've done in movies, I don't know, since they first started making movies in the early 1900s. You remember the old clapper board that you'd see all the time where it makes the big noise before they start a movie or before they start rolling their cameras in a movie? I'm going to set the controller down for a second, and I'm going to clap. Now what that's going to do for me is when I am editing the video, I can line up on the timeline these three video sources, and I can show when my hands come together, and that will perfectly synchronize the video for all the three video sources. And so then your edit is perfectly synchronized all the way through. But now that we've done that, let's just take a second here, and you know, it's a beautiful day. Let's take the drone out and kind of show you around the park a little bit. There's a lot of activity. It's just a beautiful spring day. So yeah, we're going to do a little droney here in just a second. Okay, I'm going to drop that camera down, reverse and up now, reverse and up. And we got rid of that. It was really squawking at me, the obstacle avoidance. I guess I could have turned that off. But you're going to see on the screen, you're going to see the video from the drone itself. You're going to see the video from the screen recorder. Now at this point, if I want to, I can shut off the video camera, and then I could, the B-roll camera, my Action 4, and then I could sync it back up at the end of the video. In fact, let's do that. I'm going to shut down the Action 4 camera right now. So now that I have the B-roll camera shut down, I am still in good shape because I've got the screen recorder and the video from the drone still synchronized because of that the movie clap that we did. Let's just do one of my favorite tricks here and kind of take a little half orbit around the sculpture here. This time of year is so beautiful, and you know, you can see there's a lot of activity going on in the park. Underneath that picnic shelter, they've got some speakers set up, and they're playing a lot of music, and there's a lot of people wandering around. We're gonna stay out of everybody's way, but I think I can kind of quickly kind of show you some of the things going on. We're gonna go out over the ponds here, and there's a bunch of stuff going on the other side of the park. This is Friday afternoon, so people aren't even off work yet. It's about, I don't know, yeah, 3:40. I just looked at my watch, so 3:40 in the afternoon. So there's still a lot of people that just aren't even off work yet. But let's get down here. We're over the pond, so we're not bothering anybody. But you see them setting up some things over here. Lots of folks on the kind of the main esplanade of the park here. We'll kind of look around there a little bit, get some views of what's going on. It was just too beautiful a day today not to fly, so so I definitely did, and yeah, use this video trick as an excuse to go fly my drone. Okay, let me. I want to show you. There's something else I want to show you over here. I know there, believe it or not, you know, there's festivals for everything, I guess. But what's going on over here, where you see those kind of little tents set up? It's a chiropractic festival, and they'll give you a free adjustment if you go over there. Let's see, there are not any people over here, so I can fly over here. They're lining up the food trucks, so not only is it you get a free chiropractic adjustment, there's food trucks lined all the way up here, and they'll probably have some pretty good food. Look at that, all the way down there. Okay. I'm sure they're set up for when people start really coming in after work. And then tomorrow they got another, another celebration set up. So yeah, there's stuff here. This is the time of year where there's always things going on at the park. But let's come back this way, and let's bring the drone back in and land it. And I'm gonna start up my B-roll camera again. So I'm going to have to synchronize that video, right? So I'll do that. I'll do that clap maneuver one more time. Now let's see. Let's make sure we're kind of going over to the side here, and we'll bring this guy right back to us. You can see it's kind of cool on the screen recorder there. You can see my home point easy enough. I don't know if you can hear the music. They're playing music pretty loud over there. Let's just bring this guy right down in. And there we are. The drone is right here. Okay, I am going to bring the drone back kind of in a similar position. I've got obviously obstacle avoidance on, so the drone is really squawking here. Let me, my B-roll camera just shut down, so I need to fire it back up. I was hoping it would stay on long enough. Okay, I'm going to fire up the B-roll camera. And okay, we're rolling on the Action 4 again now, so we're going to do that same clap maneuver again. We're recording on the drone, we're doing a screen recorder, and I've got the B-roll camera going. Now, the screen recorder and the video from the drone are still going to be synchronized from when we did it to begin with, but because I have to resynchronize now that I started the B-roll camera up again, I have to do that again so that I can synchronize that footage that's going to come off of that with the rest of it. So let's land the drone and we can talk about everything we did here. Got that B-roll camera going so that we can get the landing here. I'm just gonna keep that camera pointed straight ahead, and let's see if I can eyeball it and get it over the top of the landing pad. I'm not very good at that, so we'll see. So I'm going to pull, well, in fact, I'm going to show you. Pulling straight down on the left stick now.
Landing.
Hey, I didn't do too bad. A little bit off the H there. Not too bad. So now, hopefully you'll be able to see it on the B-roll camera here. But you remember that little icon I put up in the corner for the screen recording? I need to hit stop on that. Oh, and before I forget, I want to hit stop on the recording on the drone. So I'm going to do that. You need to do that. You could potentially get a file that's not closed out or a corrupted file, and it wouldn't be readable. So you always want to remember to shut down the recording on your drone. But anyway, and really the same goes for the screen recorder too. Don't shut off your remote control before you stop the screen recorder. And it's really easy. You just click that stop, and as soon as it disappears there, you know it's all shut down. So let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Well, I just said let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. That's usually what I do on my other videos, but we're not going to do that yet because I need to go home and I need to show you how to synchronize everything in your editor. I'll see you back in my office. Hey, okay, so I'm back in my office. I'm going to fire up my computer and I'm going to synchronize those files up. You know, I use the clap method, and I'm going to show you on my editor how to sync them up perfectly. And then on your completed drone video, you can have your screen recording, in other words, the telemetry that you recorded while you were flying the drone, a B-roll camera, and the video from the drone. You can have it all perfectly synchronized in your video. It's super easy. Let's take a look at the process here. The top line is the B-roll camera, the Action 4. That second line is the drone camera. And the third line you see there is the screen recording. Now the object is to get them all lined up. So first, we find the spot on the top row there where my hands are just coming together to clap. And of course, you can also see the waveform display. And then I'm going to go down to that second row, the drone camera, and I am just going to keep moving it over slowly, moving it in the timeline. You can see when I have that little hand icon, I'm moving it, and then I move the cursor back and forth to see if it lines up. So it takes some futzing around, and you can see here, it takes me a minute or so to get it just right. You know, there we're not quite. It's pretty close, but it's not quite. So you just keep moving that timeline back and forth till you get them lined up perfectly. And it's not as tough as it looks. Look at there, we've got it pretty good. So pretty quick here, we'll move to that bottom timeline. And you can see I'm moving it back and forth, just double checking it. Looks pretty darn good. I can move that cursor back and forth and see how it looks. So now it's time to get to that bottom timeline, which is the screen recording, the one in the bottom right of the view screen there. And so I got to move that over. So I'm messing with that. I got to move that one over quite a bit. So you can see that I was moving the timeline quite a bit. And so same process here. I'm just moving that third row, that timeline around till I can get it lined up perfectly, and my hands come together right in sync with the other two video timelines. And it just, like I said, it just takes a little futzing around, but it doesn't take long, so we'll get it pretty quick here. That looks like it's pretty darn close, and let's test it by moving the cursor around here. Yeah, still not quite. So yeah, there we go. There, I think we just darn near got it. Pretty close. Move that timeline around again. So, just to get it just right. And yeah, now it looks like it's good. Let me show you what the finished product looks like. Now, hey, okay, so now that you've seen that, you can see that it's not that tough. We showed you how to start a screen recording, either with your DJI RC or your DJI RC Pro, and I showed you how to start a screen recording on an iPhone. Now, your Android phone, again, could be a little different, but I know they all do it, and I know there's programs out there that people use to get it done. And then once you have all that, using that method that I showed you, you should be able to get them all synced up and looking good. Now, the editor that I use is very likely different than the one you have, but they all work the same. You should be able to slide that timeline where you can just perfectly synchronize those claps, and then you've got it. So anyway, that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I so appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. See you guys later. Bye.